located on South Pearl Street. They have been an invaluable partner in these coat drives since the beginning. Lodges offered a significant discount on winter apparel, allowing us to maximize the impact of this year's program and each cash donation. Thank you to my good friend Peter Gannon of the United Way of the Greater Capital Region for all of your support and the support of your team. Your help really made it easier, Peter and team, to get the donations in with the use of their text to donate and website portal, so using technology to help enhance this effort. I want to thank our good colleague Kevin Johnson and team, who is not here, of the Palace Theater. They have been a great partner with the Cash for Coats initiative for the last several years and allowing us to use their space to support children in our community. We also would like to, we being the City of Albany, acknowledge Dr. Edward Waladis, who is the chairman of ophthalmic plastic surgery in Albany. His desire to work with the Cash for Coats program is the result of a similar program that his family initiated in Syracuse. I'd also like to thank Tom Burke and Burke Companies for their generous and long-standing support of this great cause. They have been an important part of this program since the very beginning also. And we appreciate their commitment to the well-being of our children in the Capital Region. And finally, we must acknowledge the hard work of our city school district. Through coordination with our office and our, the City of Albany, but really the mayor's office, the city has been able to work in partnership with the school district to get children these much needed resources during this very critical time of the year. We know that our weather can change at the drop of a hat, and so we're just so glad for this partnership and to have these critical resources deployed to our kids. So with that, I would like to bring up our city school district superintendent, Dr. Joseph Hawkrider.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Delaware Community School. Thank you, Dorsey, and thank you to all of the fine people who are with us today who have contributed to this really, really important cause. And thank you to Dr. Stacy Dobbs, our principal here at Delaware Community School. It's not easy to invite all sorts of media and adults to a school, especially just 3 days before Thanksgiving. So thank you for your commitment and making this happen. I am in my second year as superintendent, and it's the second time I've had the privilege of standing before you and with the talented group behind me and all of our business partners on behalf of the City School District of Albany and kids and families, that although this is the 16th consecutive year, year after year, the amount of love and behind the scenes coordination, the community spirit, and the money, over $35,000 raised for this program, is very, very incredible. And on behalf of our students and families, I'd like to thank everyone involved. As you know, there are many ways that we support children here in the City School District and throughout our region. But it seems like a coat drive is very simple, but it's also fundamental. Every child should have a warm coat, because being clothed and warm is one of the most basic human needs. And those that donated to the Cash for Coats have literally bought a coat to keep children warm this winter. And winter surprised us over the last few weeks after a long fall, but it's a great investment in humanity. But more importantly, it's just a great investment, period. It's not obvious, but certainly there are other ways that a coat makes a difference in a child's life. If they have a warm coat, they're more likely to come to school on the most bitter of days. If they have a warm coat, means we are removing barriers for their attendance at school each day, and having a coat helps, and it really is that simple. But it's so important that it mattered deeply to thousands of our students and families over the course of the years. And as we heard today, over 700 families will benefit from the generosity this year. Historically, this team has worked with a number of our schools in our district. That includes Arbor Hill Elementary School today, Delaware Community School, Eagle Point Elementary, Sheridan Preparatory Academy, Thomas O'Brien School of Science and Technology, Hackett Middle School, and Albany High School. This community's generosity has allowed us to add Arbor Hill and Sheridan Prep to the list of schools that will receive coats this year, and I'm told that additional donations will continue to support the needs of students in other schools as well. And the fact that we're able to do this entirely based on our community's generosity is nothing short of very, very special, and that is a hallmark of our community. So all of us in the school district are grateful to Mayor Sheehan for her leadership and her staff that do so much to organize the drive each and every year. And of course, it wouldn't be possible without the support of lodges, United Way, Dr. Wilatis, the Burke Company, and certainly the Palace Theater. And what's really exciting is I live a few blocks from the Palace Theater, and to see on their marquee every day throughout the day that they were supporting the Cash for Coats drive is really, really something special. So again, on behalf of the students and families of our city school district, I'd like to thank everyone for participating in this really, really important initiative in very quiet, subtle ways. That's very important. And it's my pleasure to introduce Jack and Mark Youngley, the father and son team that powers lodges and that supports our coats each and every year. Gentlemen.
Mark, we're a team. I've enjoyed this for the last 16 years, and this is the 17th year. Lodges was founded on North Pearl Street in 1867 as a community store, and a community store gives back to the community, and they keep you in business. See, I learned that in college. And I just wanted to say how much we enjoy doing this. And with that, I will hand over to the president of B Lodge and Company and the future. Mark?
Lodges is just thrilled to be part of this program. It makes a huge difference in our community. We're proud to be part of the community. Any of these types of programs that give back to the community and help those that can really use it, we are thrilled to be part of. This is a great program, and we look forward to it every year. I wanted to introduce Peter Cannon.
Can't help but get energized being in a building like this. Short week, so that's great news too for the faculty, for the staff here, and then we'll be thinking of you the next month while you're here, literally at ground zero, dealing with these children in the run up to the Christmas season. Where, as a father of three, I know that is as close as we'll deal with warfare in our household. So, wishing you guys the best. Listen, United Way is so proud to be a small part of this program and success. 17 years. I was with Mayor Jennings last week at Carm Basile's retirement. He's doing well, everybody, just in case you're, and he had a coat. So he gets this. And so from him starting this program to see the way Mayor Sheehan has grown it, and to know that we have our next mayor's support, which may be in there some type, is really good for the future here. But what is this about, right? We're acknowledging all these people who did some great stuff to make this happen, but it's really about the young people here in this building and making sure they have what they need to be successful. That's what we're all about at United Way. In May, we launched Early Literacy Initiative. We have 2,000 kids in Albany County now getting under the age of 5, getting a free book delivered to their doorstep every month, so that when they show up here at Delaware Community School, we know that they're ready to learn. Well, they're not going to be ready to learn if they're hungry. So in the summer, we're providing access to nutritious food all summer long to make sure our kids have what they need so that they can learn. And now this is one other component of it, although this year, I thought for a while we were going to have to buy shorts based on the way the weather had been going. But if you're outside today, it is no surprise. And speaking of being outside, a big shout out to the DGS guys who spend a lot of their days outside, making sure the city continues to run, and they're in the room. Let's give those guys a round of applause for making this happen. It's not easy work, but we're thankful we have you guys. I've been saying this over the last couple of weeks as we've been out doing a lot of campaign stuff. I ran the New York City Marathon with Dorsey's husband. He was slightly ahead of me, but if you run a marathon and don't tell anyone, you haven't actually run it. So that's why I'm bringing it up again. But when you're running for 5 hours across New York City, you have a lot of time to think and a lot of reflection. Marathon happened to be 2 days before the election, and I was thinking about the election and what that means and the absurdity of people looking toward presidential candidates for all this hope and optimism. It was, just this really funny thing I kept thinking about. And that Tuesday, I was up in Clifton Park, one of our corporate partners, talking about the work of United Way. And you can look to Washington, D.C. for hope. You can look to Albany at the Capitol for hope. But where hope really comes from is in rooms like these, folks like these, just ordinary folks doing what they can do to support their neighbor, to support the kids in their community, to make sure they have what they need to get off to the best start possible. That's where we can really find hope. And, United Way, we remain that place, regardless of who you voted for, where you can come to be a part of that hope for community. So, like I said, we're very excited to play a small part in this. Admiration for the Onalees. And the one thing I want to say is it's unreadable. And I can see Tom Burke. No Tom Burke. No Tom Burke. Tom Burke's not coming. But thank you, Tom, for all that you do. He makes this go. But I want to single out the Onalees, who not just because they're a Shaker family, and that's important to me as a Shaker alum, but nobody's perfect. Superintendent. But we're talking about Albany today, and that's awesome. Kids are going to have warm coats in Albany. But in every community where we show up, the people behind getting coats on kids' backs, when we get asked, we call these guys and they make it happen. So we appreciate you guys, and the community appreciates you. So from all of us at United Way, thank you to the Onalees, thank you, Dorsey, and thank you, Superintendent. And thanks to Tom Burke, even though he couldn't get here today. This doesn't happen without him. Thank you. Was I supposed to? I screwed up, wasn't I?
No, you did not. You did not. Since Mr. Burke is not here, I'm going to bring us to a close here. But before doing so, I would like to again thank our principal for opening up your doors to us today, despite all of the things that you have to do. I would also like to give a special shout out to our DGS crew standing behind me. Just thank you for all of your work and dedication. A lot of what happens in the city would not happen without our workforce. And so DGS played a critical role in this effort. So thank you, DGS. I also, representing DGS, I just want to acknowledge our Commissioner, Sergio Panunzio, who was behind me, and our Deputy Commissioner, Frank Zioli. I also want to acknowledge our Office of Cultural Affairs for all of your hard work, who you all spearheaded this effort, and just want to acknowledge you and thank you very much. So let's give them a round of applause as well. And lastly, for 17 years, Cash for Coats has distributed more than 15,000 coats and tens of thousands of hats, gloves, and scarves to Albany children in need. I am so honored to stand here on behalf of Mayor Sheehan in acknowledgement of this successful program, and would like to thank you all so very much for your time today. This concludes today's press conference on the topic, and if we're taking any questions or, okay, so this concludes today's press conference. Thank you so very much.